Okay, fine.
All right. Episode 19 of the Young Old Heads podcast. We've made it 19 episodes. My name is Tommy. I'm one of your hosts. They also know me as TV Sports Cards. I'm here with my co host and good friend, Max, aka Cards Max, aka Cards Max Worldwide, aka Cards Max Worldwide Unlimited, Unrated. Max, how you doing this week, dude?
I am doing good. It is a very, very late night episode at 6:57 p.m. Eastern Time, right before bedtime, early in the morning, early to rise. I am doing great, and I'm all about cards.
Yes, I got a good text from Max when I was texting him if we were going to record right now. And he goes, I just woke up from a nap. I'm ready. Let's get it. I love that sort of energy, Max. I myself have been feeling a little, I'm having some new collecting feelings lately. As people know, I've been consolidating. I have not been buying as many cards as normal because I've been paying you my dues for the card that you're gonna send me. But it's a new experience for me, kind of like being the slow burn and like saving up for the card.
We are at 65% of the amount that Tommy wants to pay me,
Yes,
and we are at 86% of what is actually needed for the item.
for Max to reach his buy money back guarantee program,
It
but
reaches money back guarantee, and then I can get it off in a nice USPS small flat rate box, give it a nice
oh
little Italian smooch on the box for good luck, and send it off to Chicago.
well, I think we might do a little hand delivery action on this one. We might,
We might,
I might have to let you hang
because
on
we
to
might
it.
both be in Las Vegas
True, and fun announcement for you, Max. I'm actually going to be in New York City next week.
next week.
Or I mean, not next week. This week, I am going to be in New
Oh,
York Wednesday to Friday. I come in Friday evening or Wednesday evening, leave Friday midday.
as in like 2 days from now?
Yes, as in Ledex is going to Barstool headquarters to film some stuff with Coach Doug's, who I'm
Oh,
not
because
super familiar
you're
with.
a frat guy and you're doing barstool and you're going to be drowning in, are we going to get cardboard featured on the pod on Barstool?
There, it could be. That is what's going to be. It's with Coach Doug's though, so it's not going to be with like Portnoy or whatever. But I'm not a huge Barstool person, so I don't really know all the characters and stuff.
Yeah,
But
maybe in my younger years.
what I do know is that I am pro growing the hobby. I am pro getting sports fans in the know and educated on the hobby, and I am pro just more eyeballs on cardboard. So I'm excited to go out there and see what they're up to and see if they have any big plans for cards in the future of their content. So maybe that will be some fun teasing for next episode. Um,
I'm a lover and not a hater, and yeah, I can ensure that New York times are going to be fun times. Also, I have card shows for you to go to if you're there for the weekend.
no, I'm sadly not there for the weekend. Real quick business trip, but
Mm.
I'm excited to follow up on this in the next episode and talk about my experience there. But little teaser for future content. But as new media, Max, us here at the Young Old Heads podcast, we are new media. I'm excited to have some new media opportunities and excited to see what that can come with. But it's been another week of cardboard. Max, you were blowing up my phone with PWCC auctions last night. I saw actually that there was a Bobby Fischer PSA 10 was on the PWCC auction, which apparently you missed, but that was, I think it went for 2,400. Pretty cool. But Max, I want to hear what's up with you. Give me your rundown. You're active on the Twitter timeline as always. You're not as active on Instagram, but you text me every day that you're hungry. Tell me about your week, dude. What's been going on?
My week is just a menagerie of the days blending towards each other. Something that I was thinking about was that as I know you pump out the more diehard collector, and I'm more like, yeah, I do a little buying, I do a little selling, I do a little keeping. I'll have you know that 2 nights ago, actually no, last night. Time flies. No, it was last night. I bid on another Glaber Torres rookie card 1 of 1, and I lost again for the second straight week. So I am exhibiting my true collector, real collector status and moment. But outside of that,
What was the 101?
it was so. rabbit hole, I guess. Not really, but Optic. So Panini brands in general, I want to say pre-COVID had much smaller short prints. Like if you look at even Juan Soto, I mean, not really much Acuna and Soto as much because their prices have depressed. But when Acuna and Soto were hot, their Prism and Optic cards, relatively compared to Tops, are short printed because it's not paper flagship. And their parallels from 2018 do command some cash, especially Juan Soto doesn't have many rookie cards in general. So I was chasing a gold vinyl 1 of 1 PSA 10 Gleyber Torres Optic parallel. And it was one of those situations where it was sitting at about $150 for like 6 of the 7 days it was at auction. And then I'm like, okay, I'm gonna put my max bid at 350. That's double what the current amount is. It only has like 25 watchers. I'm gonna indulge. I'm gonna, pat myself on the back, for doing a good job. But like this is like an indulgent person. This isn't a flip purchase. And then I see I'm like third or fourth place, and the card ends at $390, and it isn't mine. But hey, if I am losing an auction, that means I'm bidding conservatively, and that is a good thing for me every once in a while rather than consistently overindulging and overbidding.
Yes, and I love that you are trying to claim collecting clout for losing auctions every week on Glaber cards, but I do respect that. I lose auctions every week on clay cards that probably won't get.
Yes, but Gleyber Torres is 1 of 1s.
Yes, Glaber Torres 1 of 1s. There was a
Gleyber
couple.
Torres rookie 1 of 1s. I don't think I've ever been in the running for those ever historically. Like most of my Gleyber Torres collection is junk bulk slabs from 2020, but I love them to death because no one else. I mean, no, not technically true. Probably like 10 other people on the planet have a 2019 582 Montgomery Club ringside set Gleyber Torres second year PSA 10. There's probably like 12 of them, and I'm one of the 12.
And that's my favorite thing, Max, about your Glaber PC is that it's just some random ass shit in there, and it's some collecting shit. And I wanted to, so I sent you 2 clay 101s that were ending. Speaking of my PC on eBay this week, there was a fast break black 101 2019 Mosaic PSA 10. So that's the fast break 101 PSA 10 of Mosaic 2019. And then there was the 2021, this year's Prism Black Shimmer, ungraded 101. Max, as card brain as you are, what went for more? The Black Shimmer Prism or the PSA 10 Black Disco 101 clay?
It's the black disco because people hate shimmers.
You would be incorrect. The
Oh,
Black Shimmer went for $12.50, and the fast break went PSA 10, mind you, went for less than $1,000, $990. So
but people
you
also
were
hate fast
wrong.
breaks. I am wrong. I I mean, the thing is with Prism, personal taste, max personal moment. I like shimmers because I like gimmicks and how they're first off the line exclusive. So even though they're such like a yuck for baseball, they are out of 30 for blue. I know for this year they're out of 30 for blue. I want to say they're either out of 7 or out of 5 for green. And then of course you have the golds. Actually, is there a gold shimmer? I don't know. I'm not a
Yes, there is.
basketball head, Tommy.
There is gold shimmer, but
That
I thought that was an interesting stat there because you would think a PSA 10 101 first year of Mosaic as a full release. Someone's been building this clay rainbow for probably a couple years now. Haven't seen the black disco come up. You would expect that one to go for more than the Prism, but I think that just shows Prism is king to people. Prism 101s go for more than other 101s, as we've been saying, and maybe we'll check in on some data points on that in the future at some point on like what do 101s go for versus each other. So you had your Optic 101 Glaber went for 390, you said,
something like that.
and then what did the Heritage Logo Man go for last week?
I lost by $4.38. I want to say it did about 250. Or
So
actually, I
the
think maybe 280.
so the Heritage Logo Man non-auto 101 went for less than the Optic unlicensed 101. So that's an interesting data point as well for the
Nice little
101s.
dynamic.
I like seeing what 101s go for just because people always say don't grade your 101s. I think there's so many 101s in modern products that it's worth grading. I think we've talked about this at some point on the
I'm
pod.
like unofficially hunting one of ones, but I'm always pricing myself out or saying that it's not worth it because I like the command of having really unique pieces and then also be, of course, financially being able to command what you want. But having unique pieces is cool, even like especially if there's veterans. But looking more so for I'm getting into a little bit of rabbit hole of I know I've talked about dual autographs before and how I love them and that they're cool. And so I a card that ended at auction today that I was watching and I was debating is this cool or not cool was a Topps Definitive 2022 Jordan Alvarez MLB logo man, but it's a helmet logo man.
Yes, I saw that. You texted me that. That is a dope
Texted you
card.
that.
That is what we like to call a certified young old heads dope card. The
Interesting.
helmet
I
logo
was leaning
man.
towards weird. I was leaning towards weird. I
Well,
didn't
all
bid on
right.
it.
Here's what would you rather have? Helmet logo man or from the majors or minor league logo man jersey, like the one card I texted you this week, the
Yes.
Brandon Belt pro debut minor league logo man.
The problem is that I do not like manufactured relics. I know that one wasn't.
That was game worn.
That is.
Is the helmet manufactured? The helmet
No.
Jordan?
But
No.
the catch is, especially with Topps products, with as you go later and later into the years, they start getting into the language of this is not from any game specific, not from any specific game or season. And well, if it's not from any specific game or season, and what if they just they wore the jersey or they wore the helmet, then took it off? You're relying on their faith that it was actually game used, but there's no legal liability that it is. So then it's like, okay, why am I paying so much money for a card that isn't even game used?
And I know we've kind of gone back and forth on the timeline about this, but there are a lot of cards that Topps is making now that on the front of the card next to the relic, it'll say game used. And then on the back, you'll flip it over and it'll get to give you that language of not from any specific game, event, or whatever. And then it's like, well, on the front you say game used, on the back you say it's ambiguous. So
Yeah,
what is the
and
actual
then I love how
ruling?
there's sleuths that will ID the patch used to a specific weekend of a game that where they could have played. I know I had a Manny Machado relic that was ambiguous, where I believe it said game used on the front, and no, it said game used on the front. It said not from any specific game or relic on the back. I know young old heads listener HB Miller 27, love Hayden.
Shout out Hayden, big
Kurt
time
bought that
legend.
card from me, and it is in his possession. And maybe he knows more than he. It's been in his possession for longer, so he can crack the case on that.
Shout out
But
Hayden. He supported my stack sale, bought a couple of cool cards for me. So big fan of HB Miller and all his card dealings. I think we'll need to have Hayden on sometime. He needs to come on. He has a couple cool
yeah,
collecting
no,
stories that I know I want to hear on the pod.
Hayden knows ball. But okay, regarding the specific Manny Machado card, it actually had an MLB ID on it. It said that it was from that. Okay, so it was a 20. The ID of the tag says January 10th, 2018, and you look it up, and Machado homered in this in a game against Boston, but there's some inconsistencies with it, and it's because it's a July. Hayden was saying it was a July 4th jersey when they didn't even play the game in July. And then if you look up June 2nd, 2017, you can see that they didn't even wear those uniforms. So there's a lot of confusion. And how much can you really trust the back of these cards?
The ambiguity of relics these days is definitely like it's reaching a tipping point. I think we've talked about how they use event worn stuff in like national treasures this year in basketball and stuff, but someone asked me literally today in the Luddick's office, they were like, Tommy, would you rather have this finals game used Steph Curry patch or a rookie patch of Steph? And I said, I would much rather have the finals game used patch than a rookie patch. I think that might be a hot take, Max. What's your initial feeling on that? Is that a hot take? That
I
I'd
think
rather
you're
have the
just a little bit of a spoiled Warriors fan because you have 4 different finals appearances. Or no, or is it 6? It's 6 finals appearances.
yeah, but wouldn't that mean that those finals patches are more prevalent? Like
Yeah,
there's
but
a
most people's franchises don't have 1 finals appearance
yeah, but like
in
given
for a
the
player's career.
option, like let's say Glaber wins final World Series MVP this year.
Yeah.
Would you rather have Glaber Torres dank patch from the World Series or Glaber
I
Torres logo man heritage 101 rookie card?
I lean dank patch from World Series. Think about it like tickets, okay? Even though I'm not a ticketer, but I've dug my hole in the rabbits a little bit. I've spent some time with the rabbits, as they say, Playboy. And a player is a rookie season. You have 162 baseball games. You have 82 basketball games. You have only a few games of postseason for a player's entire career. It's like, oh, like what car, oh, there's a million ticket stubs from Kobe Bryant during his last NBA season. I believe that was what, 2016.
Mm-hmm.
But how many career ticket stubs do you have of him scoring 50, or of him in the playoffs, or him in a finals game, or him with his career high assists on the road?
And the thing that got me thinking about this today was I was looking at cards that have sold for over $1 million in 2022, and there have been 31 cards that have sold for over $1 million in 2022. And because I have the stats in my head right now. If you had to rank sports by like which sport has had the most $1 million plus cards sold in 2022, which ones would you go and rank? There's 5 sports.
Is it a trick question?
It's a question.
Okay, most cards. So I'm gonna say the sports.
Yeah.
First tell me if I get the sports right.
Yeah.
It's basketball, soccer, football, baseball, obviously, and sport F1. Is F1 the 5th?
It's hockey.
Hockey.
From what I understand, there has not been an F1 card sold for over $1 million, but maybe this person that I was reading.
Is the Lewis Hamilton Futera the record holder right now?
I think there actually hasn't even been an F1 card sold for over $1 million. I mean, obviously, if the Hamilton
Which is
Super
so funny
Fractor came
because
up for it, probably would go for over $1 million.
which is so funny because I feel like F1 is consistently associated with scarcity and expensive and high price points.
Yeah, but so you got the sports, sort of.
Yeah, sort of.
So there's 31. Can you rank them for me though? Like which sport has had the most?
Okay,
Second most, third
hockey's
most?
definitely bottom.
Yeah, hockey is just one PSA 10 Gretzky, which we've talked about how
Yeah,
rare
that's
those
what I'm
are.
thinking. I'm like, oh, it's gonna be like an OPG Gretzky.
I mean, we know that the OPG Gretzky PSA 10 Pop 2 is probably would. None of those have sold recently, so it's hard to say, but like that would definitely be up there. It was a
Yeah,
PSA 10.
I'm like, I know McDavid didn't cross that.
No.
I'm gonna
So
say
there's
baseball. So football, basketball, soccer. I'm gonna say baseball's third.
baseball is third.
Oh, yeah, I actually meant fourth, but that works. Baseball's third. Like, why would I skip fourth? That didn't make sense.
You're on one right now.
Yeah, but baseball's third. Okay, so I have basketball, football, and soccer. I'm putting basketball 1, soccer 2, football 4.
No, way off. Basketball has 12 at 1. Football has 10 at 2. Mind you, 8 of those are Brady rookie tickets.
Oh my God,
So 8 of them are Brady. 2 of them are the Herberts that sold recently. 3 is baseball. All of them have been vintage, I'm pretty sure. I don't think there has been a modern baseball that has sold for over $1 million. And
I felt like the thing with soccer is that you have one crumpled Pele card and it's worth $6 million.
Yeah, so it was a Pele.
So that's why I was expecting soccer to be the sleeper number 2 pick.
That would be a sleeper, but no, I don't. I think that modern soccer hasn't really reached it there yet.
Yeah, no, modern definitely hasn't reached it.
But so I was looking at the basketball ones. Basketball, most $1 million cards sold in 2022. I guess people might guess that, but it was surprising to me. And most of them
feel
are
like
LeBrons.
if it's 12 to 10, I don't think people would have thought. I didn't think it was that close.
Well, yeah, I mean Brady tickets. It's like whenever those sell, it's gonna be over $1 million. So like if someone wanted to, there's 100 of them. If someone wants to sell 5 of them, they're probably gonna get over $1 million on each of them. But I thought that was interesting just to give you a little snapshot on the high end market. Obviously, we do not operate in the high end out here in the young old heads. We operate in the low to mid end, which is where we thrive and have a great time. But I like to observe. I like to watch professional athletics. I like to observe high card prices. So that was just one fun fact of the day that I saw. So just a little collecting tidbit that we like to talk about here. Well, we have officially passed a lot of the things that I was thinking we maybe talk about, but that's kind of how episodes have been going lately. We just start going. It was
No,
week 1 of the NFL though.
we are
So
not a sports analysis podcast. I
no,
know
we are
our
not
biggest
a sports
fans have
analysis.
kept asking me what I thought about Eli Manning throwing for the Giants this weekend. Wink, wink, nod, nod. But you're not a sports analysis podcast. Tommy likes to make that very clear.
Is very, very clear. But we are understanding of market and big events in the market in football week 1 is a big one. And what I saw a ton of on the timeline and just in general in the hobby this weekend was, oh, whose cards didn't go down this weekend? Jim Brown. Or
My favorite was seeing like, oh, Saquon's toast. He's terrible. He's bad. And then it's literally like 1/4 of football. And then 3 quarters later, it's like, he's back. His cards are going. Obviously, Saquon's a running back, but just using him as an example. Oh my God, he's back. It's him, Himothy, and his cards are going stonks and fish tacos and all the way up to the moon. But you see people literally overreacting to like with Jalen Waddle. Be like, people were overreacting to 1/2 of football. And then he got a touchdown, I think, in the second half. And that's like, oh, okay, well, that's like nothing happened. There's
yeah,
so much speed for paranoia and fear and FUD. And I'm a lover and I want everyone to succeed. Even I have Mac Jones on my fantasy team, and everyone doesn't care about their
why are
fantasy
you drafting Mac Jones on your
because
fantasy team, bro?
because it's a super flex, and I'm a
You're in
galactic player.
cards too much if you're drafting Mac Jones in your
I have
fantasy
Mac
team.
Jones in one of my bulk subs, and I'm just thinking, okay, he was very bad this week. This card's going to go back to $20. But connecting this to cards, it did give me a bit of a sobering of these are live markets, and the NFL is the most volatile on a week-to-week basis than any other sport. So there is no guarantee that Zach Wilson or Mac Jones and Joe Burrow are going to be worth something 5 weeks from now. Granted, with the more money that is poured into a player, the more stability is present, as well as, of course, Joe Burrow just went to a Super Bowl last year. But for some players, Davis Mills played very well this past weekend. But what if Jalen Mills threw for 3 interceptions and 0 touchdowns? Would all the money and all the pumping that was put into him this offseason just collapse on itself? It could.
Yeah,
I'm not just
it
saying
could.
put
It
fear
could.
into it, but for non-established players that you're just putting money into because they have a starting job, yeah, the bottom can fall out. If Mac Jones becomes Zach Mettenberg, then yeah, the bottom could fall out. I'm not hoping for that. I am a cardboard lover. I'm a lover, not a hater. And when you're scatterboarding and buying prospects and rookies all across the board, just the grade. Well, in baseball, that Vlad and Soto and Acuna, they're going to head down in the offseason and they're going to tread water during the actual season. If one of them gets hot, then their prices go up. And these are guys that are relatively steady. But like if Jordan Walker gets hurt and you sub him out in an 8-month bulk sub, or Jordan Walker worse hits 220 in his major league debut, or even 220 in AAA, then you're subbing your card out. You don't have possession or control of it for 8 months, and you're getting it back, and it's became a third of its value raw. So this is something that, especially with bulk subs now being available, is something that I am getting conscious of and intentional with. I have my $20 PSA stack and I have my $10 PSA stack. They may never open $10 PSA stacks again, but I'm building a stack from dollar cards just in case. And my number one rule for that stack is no prospects at all. I have things like 2004 Bowman Chrome Pujols and 13 Manny Machado Topps Archives that's worth like $4 raw, but is a $40 to $50 PSA 10. And if it's clean, why not send it out at the right price point? But for $20, that's not a good enough risk for it to make sense. But at $10, sure. So I am now factoring this more and more into my grading. For my buying, I'm only buying, at least right now, for what I'm doing, I'm buying baseball players like Vlad, Acuna, and Soto that I believe in. You can add Luis Robert to your list. I don't believe in Luis Robert, so I'm not buying him. But players that aren't, maybe may have loud postseasons, but are at least right now depressed, may go into the offseason depressed. So maybe you buy the dip a little bit more. But my thinking is that as we're in season, you're going to have more and more scarce cards show up in season rather than people selling at absolute bottom. So I know I've said this already. I picked up a very cool Juan Soto Bowman's Best insert rookie card gold refractor out of 50. And for cards like that, you just have to be in it when the hammer sounds and when you're auctioning. So I'm talking a lot, but I'm not buying football right now. I'm focusing on basketball because basketball is going to be played in under 2 months, really about 6 weeks, give or take. And I know if I sub that stuff out, we're going to be riding up in a green trend as we enter the season rather than football where anything can happen. It goes zig and zag and zim and zum and Tommy and Vaughn. So that's that.
That was amazing. I love hearing the breakdown of your grading, like what goes in which grading pile for you all the time. Because I think, first of all, great bringing up that PSA drop there. Grading prices for bulk, so that is definitely going to be a topic going forward. Hearing about what you're putting in this like long grading process submission group, because I think what you grade at $20 that is going to come back in what 6 months is their timeline right now, right?
I've heard some July specials pop and be returned in hand at this point. That was
Okay.
if you submitted, because I know the July $18 special was open for the entire month of July. And some people you can mail it in. I mean, no, not some people. Everyone could mail it in the beginning of the month. And those that did were getting their orders processed and then now popped quickly. And then there was a big, big backload at the actual national with in-person drop-offs, which makes sense.
You've
I
been
know
allowed you've been allowed
I've been allowed
complainer about that.
both my economy order and my July special order were entered on September 6th and September 8th. Look, I wasn't mad about my $18 bulk sub with a 150-day turnaround being behind. I was not upset about that at all. I was upset about my $50 economy sub being behind when, of course, when you're subbing $50 cards, each card is worth a few $100. And I don't really like that going MIA for a few months. But play stupid games, win stupid prizes. I'm not even saying that was a stupid game by PSA, but I knew a lot of people were submitting lower end stuff and that maybe submitting it in person would have been a little faster. But they are, I believe, as of this week, give or take, they are now processed. This is September 12th. I wrote in my journal today. I'm now journaling. I start off with today is this date. So I wrote in my journal today is September 12th.
Oh my
But
god.
today is September 12th. And I believe all of the orders that were dropped off in person at the National in late July, which ends at July 31st. So that's like 6 weeks for entry. I don't think they're going to be that hot. They're that long of a processing time from now on, especially since they've already processed an order that I've mailed in late August. But just something to keep in mind. And cards.
Cards. I think that's a good summary of like the impacts of the PSA sub drop and what's going to go on. So we'll be talking about this plenty more in the future.
I
But
just
there's
woke up
another.
from my nap and I have many thoughts, Tommy.
Yes,
Many
I know.
thoughts.
I am Max. This is amazing content. I'm hyped. I am excited to hear your thoughts on another
I
topic though.
I
That
do
one
it
more,
for the people and it comes from my heart.
and the people want to know your thoughts on Topps Chrome 2022 being released on Friday. Notable things about the checklist: Julio Rodriguez, Bobby Witt Jr., and Spencer Torkelson are in the base set as short prints.
And CJ Abrams and Hunter Green.
Yeah, whatever about them. But
Whatever about them, Tommy.
pitchers.
I'll
But
let you go on more uninterrupted before I give you
no,
my
no,
take.
no. But I want to hear your thoughts because honestly, as someone who is not super hyped about the Giants checklist and Topps Chrome, I don't know really how much I'll be doing in that. I think that it's a fool's game to rip Topps Chrome this year just because of how high the print runs are going to be and how I think Topps is just kind of messing with people with these like short print variations of rookies just to artificially deflate their amount. I think that is anti-collector, but there is like this new. They're now doing separate parallels for the photo variations short prints. So like those cards will get these speckle parallels as opposed to like what the base cards get. So that'll be something new, which I haven't really wrapped my head around yet because we've talked about short prints a lot, like photo variations, and how Topps Chrome has parallels of those photo variations. So the fact that they're making those photo variation parallels like distinctly different from any of the parallels of the normal set. I just said parallels 30 million times in the last sentence, but you get what I'm saying, right, Max?
Yeah, I get. Actually, can you say it one more time? This time mentioning parallels.
Parallels, 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 parallels. Blah, blah, blah. But Max, what are your thoughts on that as like a change up of the Topps Chrome set and how it's built and stuff?
The parallels I am confused about because it's not something that I've overly studied. There are definitely some unique aspects of this year's release. One of the biggest, most disappointing aspects is not the inclusion of veteran autographs. We have a 170 player rookie autograph checklist and 47 Chrome veterans to be included. The most disappointing aspect is that look, people and I am people predicted that the Chrome veteran autograph checklist was mostly done just to dilute hits even more from when you were getting your 5 autographs per box in an HEA jumbo and 2 in a traditional hobby. But I'm looking at this 47 names. There's Juan Soto, and I don't see Mike Trout here. I don't see Jose Ramirez here or Clayton Kershaw here. And I recognize the cost for them to sign their name is higher. But we have Kyle Seager on the Chrome veteran autograph checklist. Kyle Seager's retired.
Is Buster on there? I haven't even checked out this checklist
Buster
yet.
is no. Buster would be too pricey. But
Yeah.
some of the names we have Brady Singer and Whit Merrifield and Teoscar Hernandez and Max Kepler and Mark Cana, who is a great Met. I've been to Met games. Mark Cana is a great Met. And Casey Mize, Juan Soto's there. Jazz Chisholm's there. More importantly, superstar Keston Hiura is there. But I jokes aside, I mean, we have Jazz and we have Juan Soto, by far the two biggest names on this veteran checklist. And it's very disappointing because I think that's so cool, possibly having veteran autographs in Topps Chrome. But Mike Trout signs his name all the time. You can't even get Mike Trout to have traditional Chrome autograph parallels that aren't just inserts from Topps Chrome Update, which is a retail product. This is the creme de la creme of baseball products. And you can be hitting Michael Brantley and Alex Kirilloff for non-rookie card autographs, and that's bad. That's bad. I'm saying it's bad. I do think it's interesting. Wander Franco and Arnel Cruz are traditional base cards in this that will have parallels. We don't know if the base card short prints for Julio Rodriguez, CJ Abrams, Bobby Witt Jr., Spencer Torkelson, and Hunter Green, boom, right off the tongue. No cheating. I didn't cheat that time. I didn't cheat the first time either. We don't know if they will have colored parallels
They
or
will
not.
have colored parallels.
You know it?
I will
Do you
bet
even work for a card company?
I will bet my life they will have parallels.
Yeah, but we don't know.
I think they will end up just being what the photo variation short print parallels are. So that'll be like a different thing, but
I
cool
know
to see that.
SRP for blaster boxes last year. I don't know why I did the black white mini diamond set from last year. We'll get into that later. But that was such a waste of money. It's sitting under my bed and it's incomplete. But I don't know why I did
Just
that.
fucking finish it, bro.
Oh yeah, I fucking will. As soon as someone gives me an Ian Anderson and an Alex Kirilloff. Those are two of the players that I'm missing. But blasters were $30 SRP last year, which is higher than $20. Math minor in the chat. Me. I actually had to drop my math minor. But we see pre-orders from
we don't need to get into your struggles graduating. Right?
I think we do. But we have pre-orders from Dick's Sporting Goods at $40 per blaster. I think Dick's is taxing a little bit. We all talk about Dick's a bit sometimes.
Dick's
but
taxes. I
it's
went to a Dick's and they were selling Gypsy Queen blasters for $35. So
okay. That more so confirms it then. But therefore, at $40, I don't think Topps was dumb enough to raise their SRP a second consecutive year, especially when 2021 Topps Chrome plummeted and was a failure of a release. But at these SRPs, at these print runs, I hate, don't rip, don't scour for raw cards on eBay. Like me, get your UV resistant blue light glasses on. They make my face look symmetrical, which apparently helps for girls or something like that. I don't know.
this
And go
is
hunt some autographs. Go hunt your Bobby Wood autographs. Go hunt your Julio Rodriguez autographs. As someone, obviously I talk about it a lot. Thank you, listeners. Shout out you if you listen to the podcast. Seriously.
yes, you. We're talking to you.
Yes, we're talking to you. If you wake up and you do the lawn with a lawnmower to this podcast, shout out you, as well as that shout out
If you're
everyone else
if
who
you're
does
doing
not.
your push-ups for the day,
I was doing my push-ups. I did some push-ups right after my nap. I
perfect.
saw Fight Club recently, and now I have a lot more thoughts about masculinity that I had before watching it, but I still have them now. But anyway, I mean, since this is a Max interview
I don't know.
today.
You try to compare Juan Soto to Jazz Chisholm as being equal level of names.
No,
I
but
don't know
no,
where
I'm not
you are
saying
at right
equal
now.
level names. I'm just saying the only ones that you Tommy, you work for a card company. Have you seen
Yes.
this checklist? You can say Jazz Chisholm and Juan Soto are closer than to each other than Juan Soto and Ryan Jeffers and Nicky Lopez and Mitch Haniger and Brandon Lau. These names are awful.
Yeah, that sucks.
Awful with a Staten Island all.
That is tough. And that's an L for collectors, I think. I mean,
But just to wrap up the point real
no,
quick,
wrap it up.
before I was getting very personal about my movie watching, I do keep in mind we do have playoffs starting in October, but we have the off season starting in November. And it is going to be a race to beat these turnaround times with these grading companies, as well as a high premium on the get-go due to hype and due to the premium that raw cards have immediately after release because they're not overly picked through. I would be very careful buying raw initially until prices simmer down at least a little bit. Julio Rodriguez is going to be very expensive. Bobby Witt had a 2020 season and is still going. But autograph hunting will be interesting. Grading will be interesting. I'm not expecting myself to get too deep in it for Topps Chrome just because of the timing of the offseason. But
Yeah. The
greatness is coming.
greatness is coming, but late season release mixed with print run skepticism, kind of a weird checklist with whatever means I'm not ripping any of it, which is rare. Maybe I'll
I've
rip a blaster of just randomness just for fun at some point, but
I've said it before, but the original traditional release date for Topps Chrome is July 31st, and it would coincide with the National Sports Card Collector Convention where I met Tommy for the first time. And it was, I don't know if it was scheduled for July 31st this year, but that's when it's usually scheduled. And then at the very least, it was scheduled for August 31st. And then it was pushed to September 30th. And then it came fishing pulled back to September 16th, 2 weeks earlier. So we are not supposed to be having this card released this late. Some people say COVID. If we're getting to Fanatics and Panini rumors, maybe something like that happened. I don't know. I'm not a conspiracy theorist, or am I? No, I
you
don't
are.
believe in that conspiracy theory. But
But
there's a lot of drama here, and I'm here to cause it.
yes, I know. So I just went on a little brain tangent there while you were talking, which I rarely do, but I ended up thinking about what is more desirable long term, the Julio Rodriguez Series 2 short print or the Julio Rodriguez Topps Update gold parallel rookie paper that'll be coming out at some point.
I think a big part of it is that is it going to be a rookie debut or is it not? I am inclined to think that it would not be a rookie or that the main card in it would not be a rookie debut because the paper card was a short print. It will probably be a
Yeah.
different image variation. Something that is interesting is that we could be seeing the image used for update in what is presently the Topps 3D card.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say, actually, is the 3D might be giving us a little prelude to what update looks like. we love 3D Topps 3D here. It's an online product where
Yes, but
the cards are. I saw you buy Wanders yesterday of it, right?
I
Am I
did.
wrong?
That's just for the grading. No, you were right. That is just for the grading fodder for the bulk
Yeah.
sub. I felt like those are good candidates, and gut tells me that they weren't picked through. That's gut,
Oh yeah.
but I always have fun. I have 10 boxes. I probably won't be ripping this year. I won't be ripping my Topps 3D.
Just
I
rip
also
one. Just for content.
but the thing
I'm
is
kidding.
with
I'm
Topps
kidding.
3D is that it has no parallels. It has 2 inserts per box, which are
Variation.
more highly printed than the base cards, and then it has the image variations. And I haven't done the math for this year. I want to say one year it was 63 copies, and the next following year it was 75 for 2020, 2021. And being able to hit a legitimately very short printed card, and they don't recycle these image variations for other products. These image variations are unique to Topps 3D. That is my favorite thing to chase, and those are some of my favorite cards.
Yeah, a Wander photo variation 3D. That card would go very hard to have.
Yes. Speaking of which, there are 5 super short prints for Topps Chrome. Only 5. And they are, because I feel like usually the checklist is way larger, but it is Shohei, Ken Griffey, Wander, Jackie Robinson, O'Neal Cruz. I was looking at one of the Willie
Interesting.
Mays
Yeah, I
Chrome
sent you. I
SSDs.
sent you. I
Yeah.
sent you that Willie Mays.
I didn't want to falsely attribute it to you and give you stolen valor. But yeah, it was you that sent me the Willie Mays, and I'm like, that's a cool card. So I bet they're gonna knock it out of the park with this Jackie Robinson. But base super short print chromes, cool. Trout not even on the list. Confusing, but okay. But legitimately, but super short print cards that are legitimately super short print. It's like why even a Luka Doncic silver courtside is worth so much more than an Anthony Edwards silver courtside because one has a lot smaller print run than the other, and that's it.
Yeah, I have internally been keeping track of how many different variations of Wander Franco's 2022 Topps design rookie cards there are, how many different photos are on the same design. Right now we got the base and the base opening day. Opening day has a short print and the dugout peaks.
It's almost like there's someone who did a vet parallel rainbow of every single copy of what had an image of that card, not of Wander, but of Luis Severino.
Yes, you did, but
Yeah,
no,
I
I'm
just
saying like,
I just had to make a point.
but what I'm saying with Wander, like Wander has like almost by the end of all of this, by the end of update, Topps update, and Topps update Chrome, there's going to be like over 10 different photos of Wander Franco on a 2022 Topps designed card with a gold cup. And it's going to get weird for people when there's that many different ones. And that's going to dilute the market for all of them, I think. And like maybe they'll end up being the one super rare one that everyone is going after. But like the fact that they have, from what I understand, I think over 7 different cards right now that have the 2022 Topps design with a Wander Franco image on it. That includes complete
Yeah,
set variations.
I know for money, you can't just chase the rarity. You have to chase the clout. I like opening day just because I know the opening day bubblegum picture has a print run of 250.
That's my favorite one so far for Wander.
And the dugout peaks, which I don't like as much, has a print run of 100, and that's 100 total copies. So that's not many copies.
Yes, good statement
Yeah,
there.
no, I just wanted to make sure people knew that weren't many
But
copies.
I think at the end of the year we'll maybe do some sort of like recap of baseball products for the year, and we'll talk about more about like how many different photos you can get of Wander Franco on a baseball card and try to get people to care about it. I think they are reaching their limits. But Max, we're gonna cut us off while we're hot here.
Oh no, we have more and more to talk about.
Oh, but guess what? It's only episode 19 of 400 million episodes that we will
Tommy,
do.
we didn't even talk about eBay buys of the week.
We did not talk about eBay buys of the week.
I like closing with that.
We did not. All right, we'll close with eBay buys of the week. We did not talk about the actual topic that I said we were going to talk about, but that's fine. Let's talk about eBay buys of the week.
Okay. What were your last 5 eBay buys? I can look at mine right now. But I've
been
going
first.
back.
I'm really, really close to finishing my road to the final set with the Warriors. So I got 2 more of the conference finals out of 499s. I got absolute steal and a half. CC Sabathia 2002 Topps Chrome Gold Refractor Gold Cup. I got for $3 shipped with a base included and a Bowman rookie card of
No,
CC Sabathia.
that was robbery.
That is straight robbery. I have never been more hyped about an eBay buy in like probably a year. $3 for a gold 2002 Gold Cup CC Sabathia future Hall of Famer. I bought a couple.
You are a thief.
I bought a couple Carlos Rodon Gold Cups. I bought a 2016. So his Gold Cup was 2016 Topps. I got a Sapphire. So that's my first 2016 Sapphire card, which I'm hyped about. First year Sapphire Gold Cup. And then I got just a plain gold. I got both for less than $10 combined. And then I bought a Boo Booey purple refractor Bowman U from Northwestern just because purple with Northwestern, perfect for my collection. And that was like $2. So I spent a lot of cheap cards this week, but I'm hyped about all of them.
I'm gonna go crazy once there's more Wake Forest cards for Bowman University football and relevant Bowman University basketball, but probably not Bowman University basketball. My latest buys were a 2019 Juan Soto gold sliding refractor. This is the 2019 image variation, and it is the gold parallel out of 50. PSA 9. I am not necessarily aggressive in buying Soto right now, but if I see short, but yeah, no, it's a really cool card. But if I see cards that are at auction and I know Soto is lower than he should be right now, and I think he's one of the safest bets in baseball, I don't think these cards like these are going to be auctioned consistently in the off season. So I won that and I thought it was a good price, and it's a really cool card. My next one's more generic. There were 4 Pokemon cards I bought, all 4 Charizard, 2 from Shining Fates, the Charizard VMAX Shiny Vault, which is a nice full art Charizard, the Burning Shadows, Burning Shadows Charizard VMAX Rainbow Rare, and then a Radiant Charizard from Pokemon Go. All of these are just $22 bulk sub candidates that should be pretty safe, but just stuff because I know Pokemon people aren't as rigorous in checking their own cards as sports people, and I wanted to make sure that as long as there are standard copies, I will take the shot. Then I bought the aforementioned 2018 Bowman's Best Juan Soto Gold Refractor out of 50. I already talked about that, so I won't say it again. And then I guess the last 2 I'll talk about were I've been on a little bit of a Curtis Med binge, and I bought a True Gold Refractor and Orange Sapphire, both out of 50. He got hurt recently, and I feel like, of course, nothing gets played in the offseason, but it really just takes a hot spring training or even just spring training hype, given that he's borderline MLB ready. He very well could be in the AL Rookie of the Year running. And I think just hype in the preseason, that's a card. He's a player that can go up without him even needing to play in the majors.
Fun fact about him, he's from Australia, where there's a big collecting basis. So I think whoever ends up being the first like megastar from Australia is going to have like low-key a ton of hobby interest, which is another aspect of it that you can think about, because we know already that like some of the biggest Japanese guys, no matter what they kind of do with their careers, end up kind of holding value, especially in basketball.
Okay, what about Ben Simmons?
Ben Simmons does not really rep Australia super hard. I know Patty Mills is probably or Bogut is probably the closest you get so far. But
what about Josh Giddey?
Josh Giddey could be it, but
Josh Giddey could be him. It could be him.
It could be him, but baseball another like we'll see. Australia though,
I have a
Australian dudes. I'm in on them. I am in on Josh Giddey.
I love buying Josh Giddey.
I think you should buy so much more Josh Giddey than you buy Desmond Bain. To be honest,
I have a Josh Giddey Red Prism that's currently at PSA.
We have barely talked about basketball this entire episode,
and it's going to be fun when we're talking about Jordan Nwora again.
Oh, I cannot wait for basketball season. You know, this is not a sports analysis podcast.
Not a sports analysis podcast.
But Max,
I like watching my Knicks.
So this week we were supposed to talk about past MLB prospect lists and how well they've been doing, how well they've done, and like different cool cards. But instead, we just gave a quick little snapshot of like the entire card lore right now, which I think is interesting. I think there's just a lot going on. And I'm glad we talked about all of it, because as much as we aren't a breaking news podcast, we are a staying relevant podcast. Not every episode is super evergreen. I think you can learn things from all our episodes, though. Next week, though, Max, very, very, very excited to announce our next guest on the program. We are going to have
we have a good guest.
the man himself, Mitch, at IMO Mitch on Twitter and Instagram, an absolute legend of card Twitter who collects niche stuff throughout the years. You won't see a mainstream. You will not see the Juan Soto sliding gold refractor anywhere near this dude's collection. He goes for the weird stuff, the fun stuff. He sent us an Odor. What is that from Archives? The like one where it makes it look like he's sucking a dick or something. He's like,
that's.
I'm going for the rainbow of this card. I'm like, hell yeah, Mitch, let's go.
My favorite card that I bought off Mitch was a 2006 Topps Black, Chris Davis with a C, rookie card black. I think he sold it. It was either like $1 or $5, and I saw it. And I'm like, this is sick. I need this now. And he's like, yeah, I pulled it in like 2006, and I'm like, that's wicked.
Mitch was ripping all like the 04 to like 2011, 12 products, which I love, and I will educate you on a little bit, Max, but that'll be super fun next week. Mitch is the guy that really helped me get back into the hobby, hugely influential on my collecting habits, and really just like a unique voice, I think, in the hobby, who doesn't really do content stuff too often. He just rips some of the most fun sales to watch if you're not like buying stuff. If you're on Twitter, you got to follow him, just because the cards he posts are just random as hell and just cool to look at, even if you're not looking to buy them.
Best stack sales from your mom's attic that you've ever seen.
Yes, the best ones of all time. And he'll go into how his dad used to run a hobby shop, his story with collecting. We have a lot of fun stuff to talk about. Me and Mitch actually know each other a little bit from growing up too, so we'll tell some fun old TV sports card stories next week from my days being a child.
Correct. Television sports cards.
Max, has been a blast of an episode as always. Episode 19.
You can refer to me as Pete Alonso Whale from
Pete Alonso Whale. Max, do your push-ups, collect your cards.
How about you do your push-ups? You do your push-ups.
I'm about to go. I'm about to go to the gym right now. So
that's good.
Stay healthy, everybody.
Yeah, get your miles in. I've been running
cards.
Lately.
Text me and Max fun cards. We like to see them. So
yeah.
See you guys next week with Mitch. It's going to be a blast. That'll definitely be a long episode, I think. I'm not going to cut him off. Mitch likes to talk. I'm excited to hear what he has to say, and I think it could be one of our best episodes yet. Not unlike this one and all previous episodes. So, Max, you got any parting words for the people?
Be a man of the people in order to become the people.